Everybody, week 2 of the Vengeance Trilogy reviews here on the Cigarette Bands. I am Liam, and this week I'm reviewing from 2003 Park Chan-wook's Oldboy, starring Choi Min-sik. It was nominated for the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. Tarantino fought for it to win because he thought it was the best film that he'd seen that year, and it lost out to Fahrenheit 9/11, which I don't think it should have done. It did win the second prize, which at the Grand Prix de Jury. I think it should have won the Palme d'Or. To be honest, I think it's worth it. It's a captivating and sprawling story of revenge. The second film in Park Chan-wook's Vengeance trilogy is a fantastic picture of human character and raw emotion, and the lengths people go to inflict revenge on other people. After being arrested for public drunkenness, Odesu is bailed out by his friend, and as his friend is talking on a payphone, he is abducted and held captive for 15 years without reason. He sees on TV that his wife has been murdered and that he is a suspect. He is let out, given a mobile phone and a wallet full of cash. He meets Mido in a restaurant. The two of them begin searching for the kidnapper and the reason for his kidnapping. It does seem like I just read that off like IMDb or something, but check IMDb, that's not on there. I wrote that just because I'm terrible at remembering plot synopsises. I would like to say, before I give the little spoiler warning and tell people to go away if they haven't seen the film, I would like to say right now, definitely the greatest one versus many kind of fight scene ever in a film, in my opinion. I think it's just unrivaled, seriously. It looks like it's done in one shot. I've heard that it was done in a few different shots and put together, but if that's true, then it's put together insanely well, because I did not notice. It completely looks like it's done in one shot, and that's just an amazing achievement. And it's such a fantastic fight scene. Like it's not like it's very long, and it doesn't feel like it's being choreographed, because it's so. You can see that Odesu's getting tired as he's doing it, which you don't see much. You don't see very often in Hollywood films, and I think that's a great way to handle a fight scene, because it's a lot more realistic. And also, I would like to say before you go, if you haven't seen the film, it has the greatest, one of the greatest twists I've ever seen in a film. It shocked me so much the first time I watched it. I just cannot tell you. I did not expect it whatsoever, and the way it's handled is fantastic. So yeah, I'm going to say now, if you haven't seen the film, go away, watch the film, come back and watch all the reviews, because I'm about to spoil it big time. So yeah, I'll give you 3 seconds. It probably wasn't 3 seconds, I just counted down, but still, go. Right, you're gone. I've also written the next bit, so if it looks like I'm reading it, then I am, but it's what I wrote, so yeah. As Mido and Odesu search, they fall in love and eventually have sex. They then find out that the kidnapper is Lee Woo-jin, and the reason being that at school, Odesu revealed his incestuous relationship to his sister to everybody, and his sister killed herself. As revenge for this, Lee kidnapped Oh and raised his daughter secretly for years, then hypnotizing both of them, to fall in love and let Oh deal with it however he can. Just after it's revealed, when Odesu has that fight with Mr. Han or whatever he's called, and he's just losing, but then kicks ass. He stabs him in the ear, and blood. I just hit a glass. He stabs him in the ear, and blood's coming down, and he dies. And he's attacking him, and then Lee Woo-jin comes over and shoots him in the head. It's great. It's so well done. It's so great that they just they muffled out the sound as if to just focus on the visuals, and I think it was done incredibly well, and no one else could have done it better, I don't think. And then just after that, after Mr. Han had died, and it's just Lee Woo-jin and Odesu in the penthouse together trying to sort everything out. When he goes through all them emotions, at first he's angry, then he's remorseful, then he knows that with one word with one word, Mido could find out the truth on the phone, and he's going to all the different places that you can go to try and get Li Wu-jin not to tell Mido, because it's the only thing he cares about. He doesn't care. Well, obviously he cares that he knows, but he doesn't care if he thinks he can find a way to deal with it, and then he cuts out his tongue, and then as a previous meeting with Li Wu-jin told us, he has a pacemaker that he had a remote for that he could just turn off at any point, and he holds up the remote earlier on, and then Li Wu-jin walks away, throws the remote down, and then goes to the elevator while Odesu's pointing the remote at him, keep pressing it to try and kill him. He doesn't die, and his tape player starts playing the sounds of them having sex, and Odesu just can't handle it anymore, and he just starts crying and everything. And it's just so well done. It's such an emotionally powerful ending. There's about half an hour left when it starts getting incredibly... It's just a clusterfuck of amazing moments. The cinematography is just impeccable. Every single frame is like a painting. It's a huge change from Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, because Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance was a real slow burner. It showed you stuff and let you deal with it. It didn't build up to anything. Oldboy builds up to stuff, and Oldboy throws stuff at you. Oldboy glamorizes a lot of stuff that Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance didn't, and I think it's done the right way. Because Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, if that was done as like Oldboy was done, then it wouldn't have worked. It doesn't have the same kind of thing going for it that Oldboy did. And while I think Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance is the better film, I think Oldboy is my favourite. I know I said that Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance was my favourite, but every time I watch them, it changes. Except for Lady Vengeance. Lady Vengeance hasn't really ever been my favourite, even though I love it. It's never really been my favourite. But yeah, I don't know. It's such an amazing film. I'm gonna go now and leave you to enjoy the rest of the reviews. Next up, I think, is Heather. So yeah, watch out for that in about 2 days, I think. So yeah, everybody, thanks for watching. Bye for now.